Dum-de-dum-dum.
You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. Your next stop, the Mojo Zone. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be opening up our time capsule to tell you what happened this week in history, October 28th through November 3rd. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're scouring our memory banks and the history books to find 10 interesting stories that'll make you say, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Be sure to keep an eye on our community tab to vote for your favorite memories on upcoming episodes. For this episode, over 150,000 of you guys voted, so thanks, keep them coming. 22 years ago, the Turtles scarfed their last pizza, November 2nd, 1996. When you think about it, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were an improbable hit. Humanoid turtles named after Renaissance painters who live in the sewers? It doesn't sound like a shoo-in for success. But these heroes in a half-shell became a staple of the late 80s and 90s, with the original animated series running for 193 episodes until the 10th season finale on November 2nd, 1996.
What?
Heck, they were half the reason we ate so much pizza. Originally airing a shocking and makes us feel old 22 years ago, their last episode had them being recognized by Splinter as equals. But Splinter, you'll always be sensei to us.
You are truly exceptional students, and I am proud to be your equal.
You mean proud to be our sensei, don't you?
Sensei means leader or guide, but you no longer need a guide.
42 years ago, Carrie bloodies up theater screens, November 3rd, 1976. They're all gonna laugh at you! Nowadays, screen adaptations of Stephen King novels are a dime a dozen. And while some are brilliant masterpieces, landmark films, and instant classics, others are best left forgotten.
Carrie, come on!
The first, and some argue the best, was Brian De Palma's Carrie. As scary today as it was 42 years ago, the spellbinding tale of a bullied girl who discovers she has dangerous telekinetic powers enthralled and haunted both audiences and critics, in no small part thanks to De Palma's deft, innovative direction and strong performances from the cast. This classic overshadows the best efforts of later adaptations and remains a benchmark in the genre. Yeesh, how do you get pig's blood out of silk anyway? 10 years ago, T.I. does Whatever You Like, November 1st, 2008. A decade ago, yeah, that's 10 whole years, rapper T.I. gave us Whatever You Like. And listeners didn't just like it, they loved it. Promising riches to a girl with a brain so good because school she went to college, the pop rap track was the lead single from T.I.'s album Paper Trail, and first reached #1 in September. After temporarily making room at the top for Pink's So What, it seemed to finally relinquish first place to T.I.'s own Live Your Life and Britney's Womanizer, before charging back to #1 on November 1st and refusing to budge for another 2 weeks. No wonder he was popping bottles all night. 25 years ago, the advertising world's original thirst trap, October 29th, 1993.
Excuse me?
The famous Got Milk ad campaign taught us the perils of peanut butter sandwiches and, of course, the virtues of dairy. Believe it or not, the first commercial in the series was actually directed by Michael Bay. Yeah, that Michael Bay, of Armageddon and Transformers fame. Which begs the question, how'd he manage to hold back all the explosions? Maybe they were cut? Anyway, the campaign went on to become one of the most iconic in history. You know, it's hard to believe that the first time we were asked if we got milk was a quarter of a century ago. And by the way, yes, milk, we get you.
Got milk?
37 years ago, R.I.P. Lily and James Potter, October 31st, 1981.
The boy who lived, come to die.
In the world of fiction, it's a week of both birthdays and, sadly, untimely demises. This Halloween 37 years ago, Voldemort arrived in Godric's Hollow hoping to kill a young Harry Potter. The Dark Lord used the killing curse to murder first Harry's father James and then his mother Lily. But as the words of Avada Kedavra hung in the air over baby Harry, the wizard's spell encountered unexpected resistance created by Lily's self-sacrifice. Her love saved Harry and destroyed Voldemort's corporeal form, and the rest, as we know, is history.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
A wizard.
80 years ago, the radio scared the out of people. October 30th, 1938. 80 years ago, aliens landed in New Jersey. Or at least that's what was announced over the CBS radio network. October 30th, 1938, actor Orson Welles performed an adaptation of the classic novel by H.G. Wells, no relation. However, Orson's take on the War of the Worlds was in the form of news bulletins, causing many listeners to panic, thinking the broadcast was real. They thought Martians had really attacked. Although, why aliens would pick rural New Jersey as their first point of contact is anyone's guess. The program caused outrage and calls for legal action, because how could people possibly be expected to realize that an alien invasion from Mars was fictional?
The Martians are coming this way. We must evacuate the city. Take food and water and extra clothing with you.
Who knows how many years ago? Happy birthday, Sid. November 2nd.
I can't stand it. Gotta eat cookie now.
C is for cookie, and many of us have Cookie Monster to thank for that fundamental knowledge. The 2nd of November is the monster otherwise known as Sid's birthday. And since he debuted on the first episode of Sesame Street in 1969, the confection addict is turning at least 49. It's been a long road, and the Muppet Superstar reports having had some crazy times as the Robert Downey Jr. of cookies, but now acknowledges, on camera at least, that cookies are a sometimes food.
Your feet make me think of cookies. Your nose is a cookie to me. That lamppost is cookies for me.
He shares this week of birthdays with Beavis of Beavis and Butthead, who turns 39 on October 28th, and Alf, who on the same day as Beavis hits an impressive 262. Cookies, chronic, and cats for all.
How you doing, Lucky? See? No problem.
12 years ago, the pumpkin dance is breaking news. October 31st, 2006. If you haven't seen the pumpkin dance, have you really lived? The news industry is a tough business, especially when you're on a tight budget. Desperate to fill in time during the underfunded 10 o'clock nightly newscast on Nebraska's CW affiliate KXVO, anchor Matt Geiler struck gold. He would don a unitard and pumpkin mask and dance to the Ghostbusters theme. Sure, it might not be news, but it was new, we guess? In 2009, the clip went viral. And in 2017, Geiler took his act all the way to America's Got Talent, where he made the judge cuts. The classics never go out of style. 15 years ago, there's always money in the banana stand. November 2nd, 2003.
How much clearer can I say? There's always money in the banana stand! No touching! No touching! No touching! No touching! No touching!
It was the show so good it wouldn't say die. Back in the early 2000s, critics hailed Arrested Development as the funniest show on TV. In fact, many say it was one of the greatest comedies of all time.
How's my son?
He's going to be all right.
Oh,
thank God.
Finally, some good news
There's
from
no
this
other
guy.
way to take that.
That's a great attitude. I gotta tell you, if I was getting this news, I don't know that I'd take it this well.
But you said he was all right.
Yes, he's lost his left hand, so he's going to be all right.
You son of a bitch!
Its witty dialogue and absurd, larger-than-life characters were influential beyond the show's original 3-season run. So much so that it returned for an encore in 2013, and again in 2018.
Speaking of mothers, let me give that oatmeal some brown sugar.
My wife, you bastard!
With a whopping 25 Emmy Award nominations and 6 wins, the show has achieved lasting popularity despite all the cancellations, as audiences clamor for more Bluth family antics. Let's all celebrate with a chicken dance.
Has anyone in this family ever even seen a chicken?
75 years ago, the Philadelphia experiment messes with space-time. October 28, 1943.
The consequences of that could be disastrous.
Don't screw with the space-time continuum. Everyone knows that. But according to mysterious letters received by astronomer and ufologist Morris K. Jessup in 1955, that is just what the U.S. Navy did at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard on October 28, 1943. According to these letters and subsequent conspiracy theories, their top-secret experiment turned the USS Eldridge invisible, then teleported the ship around the country and even to another dimension.
They opened a hole in time, and it stayed open.
Good God, there it is.
You could consider the alleged experiment a great success, except for the crew members that got fused to the hull and turned inside out. Well, we guess they haven't worked out the kinks, because we're still driving to work. Come on, science! Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.